Sefer Bereishis describes the creation of the world, the development of humanity, and the formation of nations. Yet most of its narratives focus on the stories of the Avos, Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, detailing their faith, righteousness, and integrity. A central theme woven throughout Sefer Bereishis is the Jewish people's right to settle in Eretz Yisrael. At the very beginning of the Sefer, Rashi explains that the Torah begins with creation specifically to silence the mouths of the Goyim who question our rights to the land. The Eibishter, the master of the world himself, gifted this holy land to us. Throughout Sefer Bereishis, Hashem's promise to the Avos is repeated many times. To your offspring I have given this land. All of Eretz Yisrael is holy to us, but two places hold special sanctity. The first is the Har HaMoriah, the Temple Mount in Yerushalayim, the site of the Beis HaMikdash. The second is the Maras HaMachpelah in Hebron, where our forefathers and foremothers are buried. Both places became Jewish property through formal acquisition. They were acquired with a kinyan through negotiated transactions. These holy sites have, over millennia, absorbed the prayers and tears of millions of Jews. They also were sanctified by the Kedoshim, the thousands who offered the ultimate sacrifice in Yerushalayim and Hebron. Each of these sacred sites was acquired in a tangible legal manner. Har HaMoriah was acquired through Avram's act at the Akedah, and later David HaMelech purchased it with money. As it says in Divrei Hayamim, David offered Anon the Yevusi to buy the land for its full value, and he paid a significant price. Similarly, Avram paid for the Maras HaMachpelah in full, 400 silver shkolim, kesef male, its full worth. Perhaps this is why the Torah in this week's Seder of Chayei Sarah describes the transaction regarding the Maras HaMachpelah in such detail, to emphasize our rights to this sacred place. Interestingly, Chazal and the Midrash Rabbah draw attention to the repetitions within this story. Rebbe Elazar notes how much ink was spilled, how many quills were broken to write B'nai Ches 10 times. It is explained that this is to teach that anyone who validates the transaction of the tzaddik Avram is considered as if he fulfilled all the Aseres HaDibros. Some ask, why Rebbe Elazar focus on the repetition of B'nai Ches and not on the name Ephron, which appears 8 times? The simple reason is that Ephron, as the owner, naturally had to be mentioned in connection with the sale, while the B'nai Ches merely acted as brokers. However, perhaps Ephron deserved mention because he contributed an important teaching. Ephron says to Avraham, "My master, listen, 400 shkolim between me and you, what is that worth?" The Mashar asks, shouldn't it have read between you and me, beincha uveini, which is grammatically correct and follows the rules of menschlichkeit, etiquette, where one mentions the other person first as recognition of their greater importance. So why did Ephron say, beini uveincha, between me and you? The Mashar answers that Rashi explains that this expression of beini uveincha means between two friends like us. In all other aspects, wealth, status, power, and intelligence, one should say that the other is great, between you and me. However, in love and friendship, one can say, I love you more. My friendship's greater. I am more loyal. In love, one need not first consider the other's emotions, feelings, nor calculate its similarity or proportionality. In love and friendship, one strives to outdo the other, so the use of the term between me and you is appropriate. The second half of this week's Sedra tells how Avraham tasked his loyal servant Eliezer to find a wife for Yitzchak. Eliezer devised a plan. He would stand by the well, and when a young woman came to draw water, he would ask for a drink. If she also offered water to his camels, she would be the Basher, the one destined for Yitzchak. When Rivka appeared with her pitcher, Eliezer witnessed a miracle. The water rose up to meet her. The Ramban explains that this is derived from the fact that the text doesn't mention her drawing water, only that she went down to the well, filled her pitcher, and came up. This shows that she didn't need to draw the water. It miraculously rose to her. The Kedushas Levi asks, if so, why did she later have to draw water when giving the camels to drink? As we read, she drew water for all his camels. Why didn't a miracle happen then to spare her the burden? The Kedushas Levi answers that earlier the water was for her personal use. For her, a miracle was appropriate. But now she was performing a mitzvah, a gemilas chesed, an act of kindness. To fulfill a mitzvah, one cannot and does not rely on miracles for the mitzvah to be done automatically. One must personally perform the mitzvah. For a mitzvah, one must invest effort and energy. Question then arises, how could Rivka, a young girl, undertake such a large task, watering 10 camels? If someone had helped her, perhaps it would be manageable, but alone? How could she even make such an offer? Granted, if she had at least a large bucket, it may have been possible, but with just a cod, a small pitcher, how much can she draw? The answer is that this was part of Eliezer's test. He was testing whether she would make excuses. I would water your camels if only I could, but I am still a young, weak girl. I would certainly do it if I had the proper utensils, but what can I do with just a small pitcher? Rivka understood that when doing a favor, when performing a mitzvah, logic doesn't dictate one's response. There's no place for questioning, who am I? What am I? What can I accomplish with my insignificant, limited capabilities? A Jew must just do. He must perform a mitzvah to the best of his abilities, and once he does so, then Hashem will assist him. Shabbat Shalom.